I am Narsimharai. Today making this video on the G20 presidency of India. The G20 is an intergovernmental forum comprising 19 countries and the European Union. It works to address the major issues related to the global economy, such as international financial stability, climate changes, and sustainable development. Purpose started in 26 September 1999, 23 years ago, for the bring together systematically the important industrialization and developing economics to discuss key issues in the global economy. The G20 is composed of most of the world's largest economics financial ministers, including the both industrialization and the developing nations. It accounts for the around 80% of the gross world product, 75% of international trade, 2/3 of the global population, and 60% of the world land area. The summit of the G20, the finance ministers and central bank governance who they prepare the leaders summit and implement the decisions, was created as a response both to the financial crisis of 2009 and 2008 and to the growing the recognition that key emerging countries were not adequately including in the core of global economy. The discussion and the governance, additionally G20 summit of headed of the state or the government were held. After the 228, the debate G20, the leaders met twice of a year. India holds the G20 presidency from 1st December 2022 with the presidency theme of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. To decide which member nations get to chair the G20 leads the meeting for the given year, all members except the European Union are assigned to one of the 5 the different grouping, with all but one group having the 4 members, the other having the 3. The nations from the same region are the placed in the same group except group 1 and group 2. Agenda of G20: financial focus, inclusive growth, interrelated themes. These are the G20 countries account for almost 75% of carbon emissions after the adoption of the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris the Climate Agreement in 2015. More issues of the global significance were added to the G20. The G20 agenda: the migrations, digitalization, employment, healthcare, the economic empowerment of women, and the development aids. Despite the promises of G20 nations, the subsidies fossil fuel companies over $3.3 trillion between 2015 and 2021. G20, the prominent, the membership given it's a strong input on the global policy despite the lacking any formula ability to enforce rules. Sorry. There are the disputes over the legitimacy of the G20 and the criticism of its organization and the efficiency of its the declaration. India's G20 priorities: the green development, climate finance, and the lifestyle for the environment, accelerated inclusive and the resilience growth, accelerating the progress on sustainable development goals, technological transformation and the digital, the public infrastructure, multilateral institutions for the 21st century, women-led development. Why India the given importance to the discussion of the caste ban in this stage, and also the equal rights and wealth distribution for all, and why the discussion and given the priority of this kind of stage, why the government not using this kind of programs and not organizing the caste ban version, the discussions, debates and interviews, and they cannot not conducted in this session only. Why I'm asking to the directly to the government, why the India's the G20 priorities in the absence of caste system and the distribution of the economy for all. So I'm asking to this kind of two importance the questions to India the G20 the presidency. So entire the G20 team organized and maintained almost 100 meetings in different areas in these countries. They recently conducted 100 the debate and the meeting and the group discussions in this the country. That is the 100th program organizing by India G20 the presidency. Why the government the couldn't discussion on this platform with terrorist activities and women empowerment and caste ban programs and caste system version and inequalities in India. So the why the government not taken step on discussion